Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Weddings Unscripted. We have a really fun topic today, and we're super excited to chat about it because we're really big in investing in our businesses, especially in educational programs. So we thought it would be great to sort of break down all the things you need to consider and think about before you invest in an educational program. So some sort of course, or maybe it's a mastermind or group coaching or
one-on-one coaching.
And we're going to dive way into coaching in the next episode, but also or just investing in, online products, workbooks, things of that nature, guides, any sort of educational thing, what you should stop and think about. So once again, I'm Kristin Kaplan. This is Ginny Krauss, my business partners. We haven't been on video in a while. It's kind of fun.
I know. I'm jazzed. Kristin ran off to Mexico and ditched me.
I know. I left for a straight week, which was, it was nice though to fully unplug because I'm really bad at that. So it was nice to turn off all the notifications on my apps and such. But it's also
neat.
Yeah. And good to be filming a new episode of this. So, All right. Well, Ginny, I'll let you start. What would you say is something people need to consider when they are, first thinking, all right, I'm going to learn this is the year that I am going to conquer this new thing, and I need a course, I need a guide. What should they think about?
Do you actually need to learn how to do it?
Yes. Really?
Because a lot of people, and how many things are you trying to learn at the same time? Because let's think about it for a second. If you're saying, I need to learn Facebook ads, I need to learn Instagram strategy, I need to learn Pinterest, you need to pick one.
Yeah.
First of all, you need to narrow down what is your focus going to be. We can all have a list of every business owner at every point in our business, no matter how far you've come or if you're starting out. There's always a list of things that you still need and that you want to improve on in your business. But asking yourself those key questions of, is this what I need to learn right now? Which one do I need to prioritize? And you need to pick one thing and focus on it and learn it, actually implement it, and get really good at it before you implement the next thing.
I think that's the key word, implement. Because I think all of us as business owners love to just throw our money at course after course after course or thing after thing after thing. Because it's easy to have that inspiration and be like, yes, I'm going to learn it. I'm going to do it. This is me taking action by paying for it and maybe consuming it. But then the hard part is actually doing the work and implementing what you learned.
Or you've learned 32%.
Right. Or exactly. Or people give up 1/3 of the way through. They're like, oh, this is hard now. I don't want to do it anymore.
So then that kind of comes to the question of, Kristin and I were talking earlier of, is it more beneficial to you for you to personally learn it or for you to actually pay someone to do it? Whereas a lot of people think they're saving money by learning it. But if you're not going to put your money where your mouth is and actually implement it, then you're just wasting money.
And I'm kind of guilty of this. I think I've now tried to learn Facebook ads 4 different times, and I have a good rudimentary knowledge of it, but I keep failing to actually take that next step of truly implementing what I learned. And I probably should just go hire somebody to just handle it because it's hard. And that's where I keep getting stuck. And I think that's what every business owner does. So sometimes your money is better well spent just paying someone who is already an expert to do something rather than another course.
Because we can't be experts at everything and still run our business. So you also have to think about the time. How much time is it going to take away from the things that you realistically need to be doing to make money in your business? Can you set aside an extra 2 hours per week to focus on this and actually implement it and implement it well enough that it's worth it? Or do you need to spend those 2 hours a week actually working with your clients, making, landing more clients, and then you can actually pay someone to do something for you or so forth. And I think a lot of people get confused on what they should be focusing on because it's easy to kind of get caught up in, oh, I saw this person talking about this, so that means that I must.
Or this is the trendy thing.
Focusing on. But, that's not always the case. If I've learned anything in, all of our years of businesses, the best thing is to just do you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so true. And that's, I think, brings up that great point of going back to what you said about what does your business need right now? Because we can get so caught up in what other people are doing, or what's like, oh, video is super trendy, so I got to learn video right now. And that might not be the biggest issue that your business is having. So, I think you got to look at where are you struggling in your business the most, and what needs to be the priority, and just focus on that, like you said.
That was my thing for 2017, actually. Ooh. I saw everybody jumping into video, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta do it.
I gotta do it.
And I talk to Kristin all the time. I'm like, I'm going to do video. And it's like, realistically, I wanted to do it, but I just really didn't have the time this year. I had to focus on other parts of my business. Maybe it'll make it in my 2018 plans. But I'm not going to stress about the fact. But I do know if I do video, I'm already outsourcing the editing, because
I ain't doing that.
I'm not doing that. So,
I'm not taking any courses in editing, not learning that part.
# weddings unscripted. It's not edited.
It's a reason we did that.
The reason why we did it. Yeah. We don't have time.
To edit. No, that's so true. So I think all that is probably kind of one of the biggest issues when it comes to figuring out what you're going to invest in as far as an educational component or program. And then I think the other big one, and this is one that can be tough to do your legwork and do your homework on, but you have to make sure that what you're investing in is truly going to be helpful, because that person that you're investing in truly knows what they're talking about. Because in our world, this online space, it is very easy for people to claim they are experts at this, or call themselves whatever, coach, strategist, all these great fancy words, which I know I use them too. But there's no one regulating any of this. So people are throwing up courses.
Just because people have a huge social media following doesn't mean they got that following by talking about what they're currently talking about. I could go, and not that I have a huge following, but I could go and change my profile and say that I'm a makeup expert tomorrow, and do 25 posts about that. And unless you're scrolling back, you don't know what I was talking about last month.
And people like to change that. Especially I think people that are teaching in this online creative wedding space, people change it up every freaking 3 months what they're talking about. And so you don't know if they actually have experience in that area. So I think it's so important to do your due diligence and really look at, okay, is the, course that I'm going to take, or the, guidebook that I'm going to buy, or whatever, does this person, how much time have they spent, and how much experience do they have teaching on this topic? And where did they learn their information? Because we see this all the time, where somebody goes and takes a course in Facebook ads, or, in video, or in social media, Instagram strategy. And 1 week later, they're like, oh, I'm an expert Instagram strategist.
Right. Because they took somebody else's course.
Yeah. Like but you haven't sat there and spent years implementing Instagram strategy, tweaking it, learning more, understanding the nuances, figuring out your own path before these people go out and teach it. So you want to make sure that's.
So some key questions that I would really
spend a lot of time in that world.
Yeah, absolutely. So sorry, I think I had a little internet connection issue there for a second. But I think some key questions that I would really look at is, I lost my train of thought. Sorry for a second, but are the people that you are investing in, have they worked one-on-one with people? What Kristin just said, have they actually implemented what they're talking about with real paying clients to see results? Or are they just teaching things, coaching on things, almost, I hate to use the word in a passive way, but you know what I mean? Just selling knowledge and products, but not having the legwork.
It's got to be their own knowledge, which they won't gain without doing the legwork themselves for a while.
Right. Their own experiences. You have to have your own experiences to speak from and say, I have worked with so many people doing X things to get X results, and have people that can show you that. And also talking to other people who have done their programs or taken their courses or
testimonials,
masterminds. You know, I have no issue with someone saying, hey, I would actually like to talk to someone who worked with you one-on-one for your brand strategy to, you know, like I can show them all the results until I'm blue in the face. But if they actually want to know what it's like working with me, I'll give them anybody's email address.
Exactly.
Or, you know, students in our Wedding Business Academy. We are always really open to people asking other students how they liked it, what, you know, they did, because I find that it's really beneficial to know what someone else has been through, what their experiences are like, because I do the same thing when I'm thinking of investing in my business. And that's another thing is I like to invest in people that also invest in themselves.
Yes.
So that's a big one for me. Like if I know, like I just recently hired a VA team to help me. And one of the biggest things that sold me on this business owner who has this team is because I knew that she invested in working one-on-one with a brand strategist that I know. So that right there told me she's serious about her business. She knows what she's talking about. She's not afraid to put her money where her mouth is. And then in turn, she's going to invest in my business with her knowledge and her time.
Because those people are continually investing and they're continually learning more themselves and bettering themselves, which is only going to help you when you're trying to gain education and knowledge from them. So same thing, like another example, use the wedding planning example. You know, I could have just gone out and taken a course on how to plan a wedding and turned around and started teaching people how to be a wedding planner, but I did not do that. I was in the industry for 7 or 8 years working as a wedding planner, running a profitable wedding planning business before I ever turned around and said, let me help you run a profitable wedding business.
Right.
And that's the key is I think really looking at with the program you're thinking of investing in, what, you know, whoever the business owner is, what is their background? How long have they been doing this? Did they just learn this yesterday? Because people can also sit there and say, oh, I have 10 years experience in business. Do they have 10 years experience in the thing that they're teaching you about?
Right.
That's key. It's, you know, they could have had I've seen a lot of business owners kind of keep changing their business every other year. So, you know, just because they've been in business for 10 years doesn't necessarily mean they have 10 years experience in what they're talking about. So really asking those questions and looking at, like, does this person really have the knowledge and education and experience that they are speaking of? Does it, you know, truly check out? Are they truly an expert at this? Do they have something new, a new spin to offer on that topic that intrigues you, that you feel like you need to learn?
Right. And do you really connect with that person?
Yes. I was going to say that next. I was going to be like, that's probably the last thing to really think about, like when you're going to invest in someone.
Yeah. I mean, really working with someone that not only is telling you the knowledge that you need, the education that you need, but someone that you feel that is truly going to get you. And that's something you can't really buy. And that's why it's really important to, if you're thinking of investing in a group coaching program or a mastermind or something, there's nobody I know that does those that aren't willing to probably hop on a 15-minute call with you to make sure it's a good fit. Even if it doesn't say that on the website or the sales page, just ask. Anybody could ask us, hey, do you want to hop on a call? I'm thinking about joining the Wedding Business Academy. I'm not sure it's 100% for me. Kristin and I are more than happy to hop on the call. And we're honest. You know, we don't want to just sell spots, because it's important that we have the right people in the academy.
We want our students to all have success, and it might not be the right fit for everyone.
Right. And it might not be the right time.
Right.
So just because something isn't the right fit for you, you know, is it the right time right now? You know, do you need to kind of do some other stuff and then maybe
first,
do it?
Come back to this? Yeah, exactly.
Come back to it. Yeah.
No, that's so true. And even if it's a core, you know, that's definitely true for one-on-one, you know, investments in education, to really make sure that you can click with the person and that they're the right fit. But same goes for if you're taking a course and you like can't stand the person teaching it, or they're super annoying, or you don't really trust what they're saying, like, why would you spend money on them? Like, again, make sure that they can sit there and tout that they're the best expert at whatever, but it has to be someone that you really admire and you really want to learn from, because then you will really take in that knowledge and do as much as possible with it, versus someone that you're just sort of like, oh, they say they're the best, but I don't know. I don't really love, they don't really jive with me or whatever, but I'll just take this course anyway because everyone says it's the best. Like,
right.
That's always the best way to go. I think it's important to follow people on social media for a long time before you're considering in their course or their program or whatever. Really make sure you are inspired by them. You do learn from them often.
Right.
Things. And that's a great way to just sort of, learn a little more passively from someone for a while to see if they're going to be a good fit before really taking that leap.
Oh, that's a good point. Are you already learning from the free content they're putting out?
That's a great
So are you seeing results from the podcast, or if they're doing a podcast or a blog or a video series or something like that? Are you able to implement that? And do they have a smaller product that you can start with before you invest in, their higher paid product, for example? So that way you can kind of get a taste of what they have to offer and then move into that bigger piece.
Yeah, because be leery about people that sit there and give out nothing of value for free. Chances are they don't have any, like people that try to hold back or be like, oh, I only talk about this or I only teach in my paid thing. Like that's usually a lot of bull. So if people can't give freely and you can't learn something for either free or very little money from somebody, like I don't think you're going to learn all that much for the paid thing.
Right.
So I think that's important to take in mind as well. So those are all like great points that I think Ginny and I are really passionate about, because we obviously are big investors in our own business. And in the next episode, we're going to talk more about our own journeys with business coaching specifically, because that's an area both of us have invested in. And, but hopefully there were some good takeaways for you in here. If you are thinking about for 2018, investing in some new educational opportunities, just do your homework.
Absolutely. And if you're a wedding business boss and you're in our group and you're thinking about investing in something and you're not sure, shoot us an email. Kristin and I are always happy, even if it's not one of our things.
We know a lot of people with great programs that we point people.
We're not the type of people that's like, only pay us, only work with us. We send people to all kinds of other people because it's important that you invest your money where it's going to be used and the most beneficial to you. So if you're thinking about investing in something and you're on the fence and you really just need somebody to kind of talk to about it, feel free to shoot us an email and we're happy to kind of give you some pointers of some things you need to consider before you take that next step.
Yep, or tag us in the Facebook group in Wedding Business Bosses, because also that something where you might be thinking about investing in a certain thing, or you need to learn a certain thing, and there's plenty of people in our group, I'm sure, that have invested in lots of different programs and educational things that can also help steer you in that right direction too. Of like, oh yeah, this is something I took, or course I took, or a program I went through, and it was great, or anything like that. So we'd love to hear from you for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So great, guys. Well, make sure that you are in our Facebook group, Wedding Business Bosses on Facebook. You can also find us online, weddingbusinessbosses.com, and on YouTube and on Instagram.
We're everywhere now.
In all the places. And be sure to check out our awesome resource library because it's 2018, y'all. It's time to get serious about your business.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.